Well, joining me tonight now are the election night all-stars. We have Norah O'Donnell, John Dickerson, Charlie Rose, Elaine Quijano, Bob Schieffer, and Gayle King. Let me just ask all of you one question. As you look forward into the tea leaves of the election tonight, what are you looking for?
Well, tonight we're going to have maybe 130 million people vote. And it's not just the presidency that hangs in the balance. It's the Supreme Court. It's control of the U.S. Congress. So a lot is at stake tonight as people are still heading to the polls. I just got off the phone with the Trump campaign. And Mr. Trump's campaign manager says they are worried. Particularly, they acknowledge the early vote went heavily for the Democratic Party. So as Trump's campaign manager said, they are banking today on a big turnout, North Carolina, Florida, and Nevada to offset any advantages that the Democrats have banked early.
What I'm looking for, Scott, is there was a lot of conjecture about the way the country was going to change, the way the population in the country was going to change after the last 2012 election. A lot of Republicans said the party had to follow along and talk to minority voters to catch up with those demographic changes. Donald Trump said, I'm going to take it another way. I'm going to appeal to the core of this party. This is a test of an electoral theory. And how's it going to play out tonight? We have two very particular candidates. They are not generic Republicans and Democrats. And yet, what if tonight the pattern of the votes ends up falling into basically traditional Democratic and Republican lines?
I'm going to be looking at turnout at my precinct, which happened to be Donald Trump's precinct. There was a 2-hour wait today. I want to know what's driving the turnout. And I secondly want to know what happens in North Carolina, my home state. And finally, I want to be listening to people who we are going to convene. They're in the green room now, journalists who will have a perspective on this from their own experience and their own writings.
Elaine.
I'll be keeping an eye on social media, both what the voters are saying and what the candidates themselves are saying. And what we know already is that many people have posted videos on social media of long lines. In fact, one of the most remarkable lines that we saw was over at PS 163 on the Upper West Side. Take a look at this. This was taken by our own CBS News producer, Miles Doran, who reported people were in good spirits, but this was about 9:30 in the morning. And so this line, as you can see, goes on and on around the block. Scott, that's the kind of thing we're going to be keeping an eye out for tonight.
Big line in my polling place, too. Bob?
I think, Scott, turnout is what I'm going to be looking for. I mean, we know people are disgusted with this whole process. They don't like this campaign. They're not satisfied with the way it was conducted. Is that going to cause people to say, by gosh, I'm going out there and vote? I need to do something. My vote counts. Are they going to say, you know, I'm so disgusted with the whole thing, I'm going to stay home? So let's watch that turnout tonight.
Yeah, I feel the same. First, thanks for calling me an all-star. I've never had athletic skills, so I appreciate that, number one. Thank you so much, with two bad knees sitting here. But I'm really interested to see what happens with the black voter turnout. President Obama made it very clear that this was a personal thing for him. It was about his legacy, that it was an insult if they did not turn out. The Hispanic vote, we saw a big turnout in Florida. What does that really mean? How does that translate? And with the women vote as well. All of these groups are very important to both candidates for victory tonight.
Well, you'll be with us all night long and probably into the morning.
Past midnight, Scott.
With insights on the election, our continuing coverage. Thank you all.